Guys, welcome back into the channel. Today for Big Brother Season 2, Episode 6, the review of Episode 6. And if you followed the first 5 reviews for this season of Big Brother, I'm sure you've catching on that I've been really enjoying this season thus far. I think every episode has been really, really good. And I think in particular the last 2 or 3 have been even steps above the first few. But I gotta admit, this Episode 6 here was by far the weakest episode thus far of the season. Wasn't like absolutely horrible or anything. It was a little more basic, a little more boring, a little less just going on in terms of drama and things of that nature. The episode starts out with Top, the group Top, which I've referenced obviously in past episodes, and they're upset with Krista, obviously for her nominations and the fact that she failed to nominate a member of Chilltown. She obviously, if you listen to the episode 5 review, she nominated Kent and Autumn. And then we have Autumn, of course, as always, which I've referenced. I hate her. She's one of the worst, not literally the worst, but she's one of my, in terms of the early seasons of Big Brother, she's one of my least favorite house guests. I just think she brings absolutely nothing to the table in terms of entertainment and enjoyment. Literally all she brings is just shit that gives me a fucking headache. And here you got her crying about the nominations. Of course, oh, pity Autumn. Oh, sorry, feel sorry for Autumn at all times. That's the only thing she possibly you could say she brings to the season, and that's what she does the whole time she's there. She just cries, she just whines, she just complains. Whether it's she's not the prettiest, whether she's too heavy, whether she needs money for her kids, whatever the case may be, it's always something where it's like she wants you to feel bad for her. She wants you to feel sympathy towards her, and I just don't in any way whatsoever. So, yeah, she's crying about the nomination. She's, of course, on the verge of giving up, as she always is. After we get through with that nonsense, what the fuck? Get off my screen here. Got a little app popping up. Then we had a video package on Hardy. And that's something that I noticed through this episode. A lot of this episode was spent giving us, like, little video packages and like, segments on people that haven't been big characters thus far in the season. Not to say Hardy hasn't been, but we have Hardy, we have a Monica one later on, and, it's just like, okay, well, that's what a lot of this episode was about, which is giving us random video packages on other house guests that aren't necessarily, and haven't been necessarily in the limelight up to this point. And I think that's a little bit of why I wasn't enjoying this episode as much. But like I said, we had the video package on Hardy, and it's like a bunch of clips of girls just going crazy about how great his body is and all this. Like, it just makes me uncomfortable to watch. Then we have Hardy talking about how his goal in the house at this point is to bring Chilltown down. Anyone that kind of like holds their heads up above others or think of themselves as better than others, he wants to knock them down, which he's referenced in past episodes. Really, at this point in the season, that's all he's given us. And what I'm kind of sitting here thinking, because I think it's Bunky that makes a comment about how Hardy has stated now that his goal is no longer to win the game, it's to make sure other people don't win the game. Now I ask myself, is that Hardy's strategy, or is it honestly how he feels, and is that honestly his goal? And I gotta say, absolutely it's his strategy, and 100% his goal is to win the game. So that's something I noticed with these early seasons. You got all these people who are considered like the good people. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, in these early seasons of Big Brother, Survivor, a lot of times the group that is considered the good people, so like in the eyes of many, Top would be considered the good groups or good group of humans, while Chilltown would be considered the evil group. It's like in reality, Top is doing nothing different than Chilltown. In fact, they might be worse, because at the end of the day, they're all there sticking to their cliques. They're sticking to the groups of people that they relate to. Both these groups are. And then you throw in the fact that, like, okay, well, Chilltown, Will, Boogie, those guys, they're considered evil because of why? Because they're lying, they're deceiving, they're playing the game. That's the same thing the members of Top are doing. The only difference is a person like Will knows like he has to do it, will admit he will do it, and will like openly do it. While someone like Hardy and Bunky and Kent, they'll sit there behind like the veil of like, oh, well, they're these great people that they want to stick to their morals and not just play the game. And I find that to be honestly worse. So like, that's something I know it's like a random rant here, but just the fact that these early seasons of Big Brother, you have these groups of people who want to view themselves and think of themselves as the good people, when in reality, they are no different than anyone else in the house. It's literally, they're doing the same exact thing that they criticize Will and Boogie and them for doing. They do the exact same thing. It's just like, it's the game. And again, as I've said in other episodes, these people don't realize what the game is yet, and I think that has a lot to do with it. But it really is bizarre to view these people, and in the minds of so many, these are the good people and these are the bad people, when in reality, they're all just people playing a game, and there is no they're good and they're bad. They're playing a game. They're all going to be forced to lie at some point. Hardy's lying right now, whether he realizes it or not. He is not there. So you're telling me if Hardy got to the final 2 or 3, he would just step down and let Nicole or Bunky win? Of course not. So he is lying to the people he's supposed to be close to right now, right here, in episode fucking 6. So it's early in the season. So, it's just a bunch of hypocrites, basically, is what they are. Instead of the top group, they should just be called hypocrite group. Then we have a weird thing that I saw, and it's just a real quick point, something that I noticed. We got Shannon, Will, and Boogie all laying in the bed late at one of the nights, and for some reason, they're all laying in the same bed. I don't know if you recently watched this episode, if you noticed that, but I'd like to know what the fuck is going on there. Like, they're literally not just laying in the bed, like talking. They're going to sleep, lights off, under the covers. They all sleep in the same bed. Like, what the fuck is going on here? We got a 3-way or what in the hell? I thought that was bizarre. Then we have a luxury competition. It was actually a pretty fun competition to watch. They were forced to ride a mechanical bull. The winning group got a Texas style barbecue, and it was the men against the women, which is what they did in the last episode. So that's like a theme kind of thing they do here in this early season. They do the men versus the women a lot of times. In this one, the girls win. The guys won the previous one. The girls win this one. And I thought it was funny at one point when Will, it comes down, like, so all the guys have been knocked off the bull except Will, so he's like the last person like that can win it for the guys. And before he gets ready to ride the bull, he goes into the house and grabs some peanut butter, and like comes out and he's putting it in the girls' faces, just being like a cocky dick. In a way, I think in his mind he knew he wasn't going to win that competition, but he knew it would be entertaining. He knew it would be funny. People would enjoy to see it, and it'd create drama. And it was one of my favorite parts of the episode. He's just like his like cockiness and arrogance that he has when he goes and grabs that peanut butter, walks back out and sets it right on the table to remind them of what they've been eating the last week. I thought that was a good moment for Will. Then after that, so like I said, the girls win. They get their barbecue, whatnot. Then we have a moment that was probably the best segment of the episode. We had Will and Nicole tucking on the hammock, which as the season goes on becomes like the spot where they have a lot of heart-to-hearts and whatnot. And Nicole, throughout this conversation, and it becomes even more clear as the season goes on, but it's becoming very clear to me that clearly Nicole has some sort of I wouldn't say she has the hots for him necessarily, but she's clearly got a thing for Will. She likes him. It's that charming personality of his and it's particularly effective with women, but I think it's honestly effective with everyone, but particularly with women. Nicole clearly has a thing for him. If it's not that she's under like the influence of Chilltown as a whole, she's just under the influence of Will. If Boogie had been sitting on there like on the hammock with Nicole, it wouldn't work. It only works because it's Will and he has the personality and the charming abilities that he has. And I really am looking forward to some of those moments between Nicole and Will in the future, because those are some of the best moments of the season. And this is one of the first ones. Will even so much, like this is a way of knowing how great Will is at this game. He literally is sitting on the hammock and calls Nicole a bitch and says he doesn't like her. It doesn't hurt him. He calls the girl a bitch. And this is not a stupid girl. Like this is at least an above average player of the game. I mean, she obviously makes a great run in this season. And he's even like, he's calling the girl a bitch to her face and saying he doesn't like her. But he's able to say it in a way where it's like, yeah, you're a bitch, but you still like me and you're going to keep me here either way. I just find Will and his conversations with some of the house guests so intriguing, and this was one of those. And honest to God, him and Nicole have some of the best interactions throughout the season. Will, at the end of the conversation, in the end of the segment, makes a deal with her saying he won't nominate her and he won't nominate her. He won't nominate Shannon and Boogie, obviously. So it's kind of a way to try to get her to join the group of Chilltown, because of the fact that they know if they could get her, that'd be 4 votes, which means they would control the votes from here on out. Because, like, for instance, this week's vote is 7 votes. So if you have those 4, it's 4-3. You don't need anyone else. And I think Will knows whether it works or not, because it's hard to tell. Does Will really believe this pitch is going to work? I don't know if he really did at the time. You don't really ever get any sort of insurance one way or the other. But I think in his mind, he's like, even if it doesn't work, I'm going to find one way or another to latch myself to her. Because he's referenced earlier in the season that he is afraid of Nicole. He knows Nicole's dangerous in this game. And he's creating like a bond with her. He's creating a relationship with her. So no matter whether she really wants to latch on to Chilltown or not, even if she doesn't, she will latch on with Will. And Will, obviously, like I'm sitting here telling you that she clearly has a thing for him, Will's smart enough to pick up on that too. He calls her a bitch to her face. He wouldn't have done that if he didn't think that she would still like him. And still, I mean, she claims throughout the season, oh, I hate him, I don't like him. The fact is, she does like him. She's in denial. Then we have, like a weird thing where Krista gets picked for some fucking dinner. It's something about her birthday. I don't even know. She gets picked for the dinner, though, and she picks Boogie to have the dinner with him, or with her. She claims it's because of her birthday, but in reality, she just has a thing for him. And I thought it was funny that, like, you start the episode with Top all upset at her for not nominating Chilltown, and then she goes on to later in the episode pick Boogie to have the dinner with her. Like, just completely picking Chilltown members at every turn is Krista. And then towards the end of the episode, we have a Monica segment. Kind of just going. I don't like Monica. I don't think she brings much of anything to the show. She's boring. She's bland. Don't like her. But, I mean, I guess in terms of she's in the house, she's going to probably be there for a while. They might as well give us some sort of an idea of what kind of person and what kind of player she is, what her personality is like. And we got a little more of an idea here with this segment. So I guess it served its purpose, but it was kind of boring. But all in all, it was, like I said, it was the worst episode of the season thus far. Looking forward to episode 7. I know it'll definitely be better than this episode. But all in all, I'm going to give the MVP of this episode, I'm going to give it to Will, just for bringing that peanut butter out and putting it in the girls' faces. I thought that was funny. And him and Nicole's interaction on the hammock was really well edited and just was a really engaging and entertaining conversation. So thanks for checking in, guys. I'll be back for my episode 7 review tomorrow. Comment and like and subscribe. Let me know, are you enjoying the season thus far? Are you watching the seasons now along with the episode reviews? Let me know. Comment, like, subscribe, guys, and thanks for checking in. I'm out.